If you've ever experienced heartbreak before, then you know exactly what it's like when you go out of stock or see your listing suppressed on Amazon, only to see your hard work go down the drain and your organic rank tank. In this video today, I break down the algorithmic reasons why that happens, a case study, and a strategy that I've recently used to bring that rank back to life. Let's go. Hey guys, what is up? Whether you are a burly veteran to the channel or this is your first time here, welcome to Heist, where we look at deep dive strategies, tactics, and approaches to grow and scale your brand on Amazon. So unless you are a perfect human being and a perfect Amazon marketplace seller, you've likely either A, gone out of stock before, or B, had your listing suppressed. And if either of those things are happening, you've probably also seen your organic rank tank. And it's a hard slog to get that back once your product returns to in-stock or available on Amazon. So this video today, I'm going to break down a recent case study that I've done with my supplement brand where it was down for almost a month. So a customer had a bellyache, as happens in the health supplement category. That can suppress your listing if you get customer complaints related to health. So it was down, we had to submit a appeal, got it back up, but it was almost a month later. And during that period of time when the product wasn't available, obviously the rank tanked. So we used a specific new strategy to test about bringing that rank back up to life in the most economic way possible for this particular product. So stick through to the end. I actually have a file, a Google Sheets that breaks down this entire strategy in depth, the pros, the cons, how to use it, when to use it, how to implement it, and the entire SOP. So let's dive into my computer and we'll break this case study down, and hopefully you find a strategy here that you can implement at some point into the future to revive or re-rank your own products. Okay, before we get into the re-rank strategy, it's important to understand the algorithmic variables that go into what is actually decreasing or impacting your rank to begin with. Some of this stuff is hard facts, some of it is triangulating variables using data and other people in the space. So it's not perfect, but generally speaking, here's how you can think about organic rank. It's really based on hundreds of different variables that Amazon tracks over different time intervals. It's then taking those, putting it up against competing ASINs to determine relevancy and which ones they should present to customers. It's generally thought that this occurs in different time segments. Again, no one knows exactly what, but it's generally 1, 7, 14, 30, 60, and 90-day time frames. So again, hundreds of different variables are looking at 1-day data, 2-week data, 1-month data, all the way up to 90-day data. So when you're out of stock for any period of time, all these variables are basically getting goose eggs, right? You're not getting traffic, you're not getting clicks, you're not getting conversions, add to cart, sales velocity. It's a complete zero. So your running average, especially for those longer time periods of 30, 60, 90 days, is going to be degraded. And then the competing ASINs you're up against are not seeing that. And that's why your rank goes down. Some of the factors that go into this algorithmic assessment, or some of the major ones at least, include first, just traffic to your listing in general. So page views and traffic. Another is just what happens on your listing, what a customer is doing on your listing and how optimized is your listing. And then how many customers are adding your item to cart for specific keywords. And then obviously your sales and sales velocity for specific keywords and behaviors. So all of these things here combine on all these different time variables to impact how you rank organically. So when we're trying to re-rank a product, what we're trying to do is get more page views traffic, getting more activity on the listing, getting add to carts, and ultimately sales. The faster you can do this, and with the highest velocity and numbers that you can do this in comparison to your competitors, the quicker your stats and your running averages are going to improve, and the quicker your ranking is going to improve. So let's look at a specific case study and a strategy that we used to bring back to life the supplement that was down for almost a month. So here is the business report for this particular brand. It's still a 1 SKU brand. We have a couple in the chamber. Generally speaking, the SKU we're in the off season does between 8 and 20 grand a month, kind of depends on the month. But you can see here during this period, we were humming along in June, and then all of a sudden, basically halfway through the day on July 2nd, you see we only got 4 sales, and then boom, we got 0 sales. That continued from 7/3 all the way through. We don't see the next sale register until 7/26. So kind of midway through the day, 7/26. So just about a month we were out of stock due to this suppression that happened. So we're getting 0 page views, roughly 0 page views, 0 add to carts, 0 sales, all of those numbers across the 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month timeframes for organic rank on the algorithm, we're getting goose eggs. So we deployed a specific strategy here the week of, I think it was 7/27, and you can kind of see here we slowly started to revive this thing. We had a big spike day of almost $2,400 on this day, which we'll get into later on. And then we kind of started to get a little bit of momentum back. In terms of key rank, you can see a similar story here. This particular keyword is, I would call it the big dog keyword for the category. It gets north of 80,000 searches per month, highly sought after. It's basically what everyone's going for. And you can see here right before we went out of stock, we were in 13th position. And then we had this massive gap here again for almost a month, and then started back out at 229 position. Slowly clawed our way back up to almost top 10 over this relaunch period using this strategy. So there's a number of things that you can do to try to get that sales velocity back. You can go really heavy on pay-per-click. It usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks or close to the period that you were out of stock to get those stats back up. So heavy pay-per-click is one strategy. Because this is supplements and the cost per clicks are stupid, it's like $3 to $5 cost per clicks. Just didn't make a lot of sense economically to go heavy and hard on pay-per-click. Another strategy is to leverage external traffic, again, very similar to a launch. Get Google ads going, get Reddit ads going, YouTube, whatever the external traffic of choice is, and dump that in. Again, expensive for this particular category because it's a supplement. So the strategy that we actually implemented was what's called a buy one, get one, or a BOGO offer. And what that basically means is when somebody lands on the listing, there's promotional language right by the buy box and right underneath the listing that says, if you buy 2 or more of these, you get 1 free. So this is our daily tracker on unit sales, the conversion rate, and the pay-per-click conversion rate. Major hat tip to Brett from FBA Excel. He's a good buddy of mine, one of the original audience members for Heist, and we've really been collaborating on some stuff, one of which has been this dashboard that he's implemented, and I absolutely love it. So it basically shows the day-by-day impact of all these different efforts and conversion rates. So when we got back into stock, this yellow period here is basically when we ran that BOGO offer, that buy one, get one offer. The cool thing about buy one, get one is that it does a couple of things. It doesn't work on sending traffic or click-through rate necessarily. So if it's in organic rank, people aren't going to see that it's a buy one, get one until they actually get through to the listing. So it's not good for that. But what it's really, really good for is instigating that on-listing activity, the add to carts, and absolutely sales velocity. And what it really spikes is the conversion rate. Conversion rate, number one, because it's a more enticing offer, but more importantly than that, one metric that Amazon looks at is session percentage, which is effectively the number of units ordered per visit to the page. So you can see here the conversion rate when we turned this thing on was north of 60%. We had a down day there. But you can see here on 8/6, we had a 114% conversion rate. So how in the heck is that possible, right? You can't convert more than you get. And that's where the BOGO comes in, because the people that were taking this offer were getting 2 units for the price of 1, but Amazon is counting it as 2 sales. So basically all those double sales help improve your conversion rate across the period for all of those page views. So in this case, we had a 42% session percentage rate during this BOGO period to try to re-rank the product. Similarly, we were seeing double-digit pay-per-click conversion rates, which is another major benefit and instigator of organic rank on Amazon. You can see here when we kind of came in, we had 2,400 in sales on this particular day. And what basically happened is one of the influencers that this product is for saw the deal and promoted it on their network as well. So it's also a fantastic tool to really deploy and weaponize any influencers that you have, or even external traffic. So you can use a BOGO ad and you can use a BOGO promo with your influencers to try to instigate that additional traffic, rank, add to cart sales, which obviously improves the performance of the listing on Amazon. So how do you set it up, you may ask? Well, this is a step-by-step breakdown of the precise SOP that you can use to implement the strategy in your own business, in addition to a profit calculator and some other things to really understand if this is the right approach for you. I'm going to drop a QR code for you millennials and or tech-savvy folks. Go ahead and get your phone out. If you're on desktop, scan that QR code and it's going to dump you over to a page where you can actually get and download this file. Otherwise, I'm going to leave a link down below that you can click on. Give me your email address so I can spam you with marketing materials. And in turn for that, I'm going to give you an SOP. Just kidding. I rarely spam people. I think I send like an email a month. So it's usually high value stuff. So anyway, the BOGO SOP, I guess a couple of thoughts on how and when to use this. I think launch it can be valuable for. So if you want to have a really, really kick-ass offer at launch, you can use it at launch. Relaunch or re-rank is a really kind of key thing that I've used it for and tested here in this case. And if you've got slow moving inventory, sometimes it's a good thing to kind of beat a dead horse and get that revived listing back so you can get rid of stock that's just costing you money. There's some pros and cons though, right? The pros, obviously the biggest thing is the conversion rate session percentage. So it's a more enticing offer, so more people buy it. But more important than that, the session percentage actually skyrockets with this strategy and really helps with rank. It helps with sales velocity and add to cart velocity, again, indicators of organic rank. And then it's easy to test, right? You can turn this thing on and off relatively quickly. If you feel like it's burning money or if it's not working after 3, 4, 5 days and you're not seeing some activity, you can dump it, turn it off really quickly. Some of the cons, I think the biggest one is obviously margin erosion. So this product is advantaged in the sense it's got really high margins. So it costs us $3 and we sell it for about 20. So adding another one in there, while it hurts and erodes margin, isn't the end of the world. But you definitely want to calculate this thing. It's not going to be right for a lot of products. I think it's going to be right for really high margin products or lower ticket products that are say less than $40. I think it fits into that sweet spot. Outside of that, it may get a little tricky to pull off the math. It doesn't help with traffic or conversion rate. So again, it's not going to drive people to your listing. If someone's scrolling on Amazon, they're not going to see that you've actually got this deal. They might have clicked on it to buy it at full price and then they see the BOGO offer and they get it. So you might have lost some money there. So it's not going to help you driving traffic to your actual listing. It works best with external promotion. So again, you might need to spend some additional money to drive traffic with this, whether it's a Reddit ad, Google ad, etc. So it works best in tandem with that. So you get both the traffic and the conversion session percentage piece. And then finally, it's not going to fix a bad offer. It's obviously going to improve your offer because it's a better economic decision for a customer. But if you've got a crappy product, crappy listing, crappy brand, it's not going to revive those things and naturally instigate rank. So one really cool thing to check out, I've just kind of built out here, you basically put in and input these yellow boxes here just to see what the margin impact could be. So in this case, our product is $19.99. The FBA fees are $3.48. Amazon's going to take 15% of that $19.99. So this is actually calculated. You don't need to input that. And then you just throw in the landed COGS for your product. And it's going to multiply that COGS in the BOGO offer to figure out what your net margin dollars are, as well as your net margin percentage. So if you want to just kind of run your product in this little table here, you can see what your net margin is with a BOGO offer. So setting this up is super simple. Again, broken down in this SOP here, you basically log into Seller Central. You go to the advertising drop down and click on promotions at the bottom. It's going to take you to the promotions tab where you can either choose percentage off or buy one, get one. You're going to obviously select the create buy one, get one offer. And then it basically, there's like 3 or 4 steps within that you need to set up. The first is entering the conditions. So you're basically going to want to put your promoted ASIN. This is kind of covering up what the name of the product is, but you're going to select the purchase item that somebody gets a BOGO with. You're going to have the buyer benefits, one item when they buy 2 or more. So that's setting up the actual numbers that you want to give away. After you've done that, you basically schedule it. So you set the time frame. You can see here we did it from 7/27 to 8/11 in this case. And then it's just an internal description. We usually just name BOGO and then the name of our actual product. And then there's a promotion ID and a tracking ID. So if you want to go into your reports and see how many people actually activated this offer, you can see that here. Also within the Sellerize software platform, which I'm obviously a huge fan of, it also shows on a daily basis how many promotions were taken on a particular ASIN. So you can see it there as well. And then you basically just set up the claim parameters here, super straightforward. And then you are off to the races. Again, you can shut this thing off at any time and really test and see if this is having an impact on those key metrics and numbers that drive rank for your brand. So what do you guys think? Something you could use? Hopefully it is. Again, hit this QR code up here to get the SOP yourself, or hit the link down below so you can use that own file and strategy in your Amazon business. If you like this one, hit this link over here to check out a video I did on how to effectively launch your products. And if this is your first time here and you liked it, hit over here on the subscribe button. Love to have you back. We drop videos on a weekly basis. Until next time, cheers.